More than 6 years after the release of what was initially called Postscriptum, Squad 44 is now on the verge of finally getting the much requested Pacific Theater. Welcome back to the channel, everyone. Today we're going to be taking a look at the fantastic trailer for the Pacific Front, check out some of the new Pacific assets like uniforms, weapons, vehicles, and cannons, and go over the public testing announcement and dates. Squad 44 will also have a free weekend lasting from today until the 16th, so a perfect opportunity to jump into a server or at the very least take a look at the new Pacific gear and equipment for yourself. The trailer for this is just absolutely fantastic, I have to say, but before we take a look at more of the actual Pacific content, I just wanted to highlight that there will be public playtests specifically to make sure that Iwo Jima, the map, is in a good place in terms of performance. These will be on the Squad 44 public testing app, something you'll have to download separately, but if you own the game, you should have it in your Steam library ready to download. When Iwo Jima is tested and optimized enough, it'll be available on the main branch of the game, likely sometime in early 2025, if you'd rather just wait for the official and more polished release. You can already check out most of the new Japanese weapons and vehicles, as well as some of the US Marine Corps equipment and gear, as well as newly added weapons from Beyond the Wire right now in Squad 44. You can find them all in the new museum, which reminds me of the museum level from Modern Warfare 2. Alright, we are in the Squad 44 Museum, a brand new area for you to check out all of the new toys in the game, or the ones that you are already used to, just in a different way. Now let's take a look at the new weapons in this update, which is 8 of these new Arisaka rifles, 4 of them chambered in 6.5 and 4 of them chambered in 7.7mm. The Type 38 Arisaka being the main standard rifle, with 2 carbine variants, one obviously earlier war, one late war based on it, as well as a sniper variant. The Type 97 sniper does come with a scope. You can aim down sight and actually switch between the iron sights and the scoped zoom. So for closer targets, you got that one. And for the further away targets, you can hopefully, if I don't suck here, aim and take down a target further away. You can even mount a bayonet if you're out of ammo, or if you want to join your squad in a Banzai charge. The Type 2 Terra Arisaka is a paratrooper rifle meant to be foldable. Now, I'm not sure to what degree this makes a difference inside the game, but hey, they added it, so I thought it was cool to showcase. And of course, you can, very typical Japanese style, mount a bayonet to it. We can, however, also range up to 1,000 meters. Yeah, this makes aiming rather difficult, but if you try to shoot someone at 1,000 meters, you can try to do that. We have a regular Arisaka, the regular sniper variant, and the Arisaka 99 Late War, which is called the Last Ditch. Exactly what it is, a very late war effort to try and at least have a gun for Japanese soldiers to engage with. The Japanese get 2 submachine guns. Here's the Type 100 1940, which actually can mount a bayonet, so you can still join your friends in their Banzai charges and can be swapped to semi and back to auto. The ranging is possible, but I doubt you're going to hit anything at 450 meters. The Type 100-44 or 1944 pattern is a lot more crudely made, can still mount a bayonet, and it does feel like the fire rate is a little higher compared to the regular earlier pattern 1940. Keep in mind that the later pattern cannot be swapped back and forth between full auto and semi, only having a full auto option. The Japanese have access to 3 different bayonets, a late pattern, a mid pattern, as well as an early pattern, and so many people are pretty excited for this Type 95 sword, which I'm pretty sure we're going to see a lot of people try to mess around with this. I'm kind of excited for that. A little bit of lag here as we're going towards the big museum part. But this is honestly a very cool addition to Squad 44. So the Japanese also get access to 2 pistols. Here the Type 94 Nambu pistol, which actually comes in a backlight, it looks like, and a wooden style grip, as well as the Type 14 Nambu, obviously very famous. Besides the very unique Type 11 light machine gun with this very awkward, for a machine gun anyway, reload, they also get access to 2 further light machine guns. The 6.5mm Type 96, which can be used like this, and of course also can be proned out with. However, the Type 96 and 99 have a cool thing where they do come pre-assigned with a bayonet. So you can do a Banzai charge with the machine gun. Now, besides the regular variants of the Type 96 and 99, both equipped with bayonets, we also have a scoped variant of both the 6.5 and the 7.7mm machine guns. We can actually swap between the iron sights here as well as the scope. Have the bipod deployed when necessary, or fire pretty much from the hip or the shoulder. Outside of course, a bunch of weapons, we also have mines, we have a bunch of throwables, and these aren't all Japanese. We do have this Japanese can-bin petrol bomb, which is pretty much what it says on the tin, just a Japanese version of a Molotov cocktail. We even have their canteen, a shovel, and if you're really trying to be specific, even a Japanese pair of field binoculars. While the Japanese don't get a dedicated anti-tank launcher, they do get a dedicated, well, anti-tank stick. The lunge mine, pretty much what it says on the tin. I don't think it's... I guess it does work. Basically, you activate it, point it at something, and you blow it up, and you also end up blowing up yourself. There's a couple of my pieces left there. This is the Type 89 grenade discharger, also known as the knee mortar. By the way, knee mortar, do not think this is going to be something you can place against your leg and then fire it. Apparently, quite a few Marines actually got injured during the war trying to do that themselves. Comes with 4 different types of ammo. We have Willy Pete smoke and regular smoke, like a smoke grenade, as well as high explosive and a regular fragmentation grenade. The Japanese have a ton of different grenade launchers to choose and pick from. The Type 91 spigot launcher comes in frag, smoke, and Willy Pete. The Type 2 comes with HE and AT, and then the Type 100 is technically both with HE variants. However, these are on 2 different rifles, both the Arisaka 99 and the Arisaka Type 38, which are firing different calibers, as we discussed before, which will cause the grenades to have a slightly different ballistic trajectory, so keep that in mind if you do swap between them on a live server. The new US Marines have access to the K-bar knife, as well as the Corpsman Bolo knife. Furthermore, the Marines have access to the M55 Rising in 2 variants, a 20 round and a 12 round variant, which comes in semi and full auto, and the non-folding variant in the M50 also in a 20, as you can see, in a 12 round variant as well, both in full auto and in semi. The US Marine Corps also gets access to the Winchester M1912 shotgun, which besides being a pump-action shotgun also has the ability to mount a bayonet for those awesome shotgun and then bayonet charge attacks. This is the Springfield with the UNERTL or Uniturl, I'm not sure how to pronounce this, sniper scope for the Marine Corps, which is their standard sniper rifle. Does come with the ability to mount a bayonet, but with a scope like this, yeah, you know, kind of looks a little ridiculous. Can sadly not switch to the iron sights as it appears to be blocked by the scope mount. Without going over all of these next ones in detail, we do have a couple of new weapons from beyond the wire, like this Winchester M1897 trench gun. We also have the Reichs revolver, the Lange Pistole 08, and the C96 broom handle. We also have the M1903A1 Springfield. There's also a grenade launcher variant of this as well, which is here, the Springfield as well as the Lebel VB grenade launcher variants. We have the Madsen M1902 machine gun, the MP18 submachine gun, as well as the Karabiner 88, the Gewehr 88, the Gewehr 98, and the Karabiner 98AZ. I want to showcase the new barrel swapping mechanics. You do have to assign a button for that. I just use O for the time being. As you can see, our barrel is kind of smoking. I press the O button. Hot barrel gets removed and a new barrel gets inserted. So kind of like Red Orchestra 2. And then I do get a little bit of lag here. I just wanted to quickly show off the actual museum part of the museum, showcasing a lot of the factions in the game, really sort of reminding me of the Overloan Museum, specifically back in the Netherlands. A little bit of Squad 44 / postscriptum history, and just a couple of units that are showcased from all the factions, a little bit of more info on the game like zeroing and weapon resting, an early look at some of the Japanese and US Marine Corps outfits that we'll take a look at here, with also a bunch of pictures the developers have released. We do have a quick look at one of the Marine personnel here. It's going to be on Iwo Jima initially, but again, we'll take a look at some of the other uniforms in a second via some of the released artwork. We are now in Squad 44's Armor School. I'm going to take a quick look at some, but not all, of the new vehicles for both the Japanese and the US Marine Corps. Here we have the Type 94 truck in its logistics variant. We also have an infantry version with a little bit more seating from 2 up to 6, as you can see. We have the truck MSP, which is a mobile spawn point. Just drive this around, park it somewhere, and you guys can start spawning on this as a forward respawn. We also have an actual transport here without the tarp, up to 10 people in the back. The Type 1 47mm anti-tank gun, which is obviously just one of the many static guns. There are actually up to 7 in this new update so far, and this is just one of the new guns. We also have the Type 90 75mm gun, obviously a little bit of a bigger gun. Then we have a couple variants of the Ha-Go, which is obviously a very light tank. This is the early war variant. We should take a look on the inside, which is a really cool item, I think, in the garage. You're going to see the crew setup, the seating. We can also take a look at the armor thickness, where you just hover over a piece and even take a look at the angle, telling you how effective the armor is. Same goes for the late war variant, just a slightly different version. We can take a look at all the penetration statistics down here if you're interested in that, but that's maybe a little bit too detailed as of this video. Then the Chiha early and late war. We have the early war here. Gonna take a look at the X-ray to give you an idea of what it looks like on the inside. You have a very cramped crew. Actually, this guy is probably having the worst time over there. As well as the Chiha late war and the Chiha Kai early and late, which are both, I believe, upgraded gun versions of the regular Chiha, just giving you a basic idea of what these will look like. The other one looks to have a pretty cool camo netting over the turret. We can actually take a look at that as well on the armor thickness. Again, that's not going to be something that you're going to be looking at on these Japanese tanks. Now, armor thickness is always going to be very, very low. The LVT2, we have the LVT2 Buffalo in a different camo, as you can see. So comparing the first with the second, we can very easily tell that there's just a slight difference in terms of firepower, with the Alligator having a lot more defensive weapons, even some 50 calibers as well as 30 caliber machine guns off to the side. Then we have the LVTA-4. This is, I believe, the same gun as you would see on an M8 Scott, a low velocity, I believe 75mm gun for fire support, but it is an amphibious tank. The M4A2 Sherman tank in its marine camo, and even some weird spikes here, likely preventing Japanese troops in the jungle from jumping on the tank and messing with the periscope, or even trying to enter the tank, likely to throw a grenade inside. Even having the engine neck here, as you can see, sort of bolted down, not allowing people to at least get access to it and, you know, throw a grenade or anything in there. As you can see here too, we have this beam on the side, likely to stop or prevent Japanese soldiers from trying to stick something in between the threads and immobilizing the tank. There are a few variants of vehicles for the USMC, like the Willys Jeep, Chevy truck, M3 half-track in different variants, and the M5 Stewart that are painted to match their new USMC users. Though I didn't get to show all of these, the Japanese will also have access to the Type 92 Woodpecker HMG, as well as the single and dual versions of the Type 96 25mm anti-aircraft guns. Besides the 47 and 90mm anti 10 guns I showed, they'll also have access to the Type 10 120mm naval gun and Type 88 75mm anti-aircraft gun. While Squad 44 doesn't have any flyable or controllable aircraft do play a role in-game as commander call-in abilities, performing strafing and bombing runs. Some of the Japanese aircraft can actually be seen in pictures parked on airfield runways, so perhaps only the Kai-84 and American F-4U Corsair will be seen flying, with the Betty and the Zero staying grounded as scenery on Iwo Jima. While the museum gave a small teaser for what the US Marine Corps and the Japanese will look like in terms of uniforms and gear, there's a couple more pictures of both factions giving a better idea of what to expect. First up, the officer or squad leader roles. You're both a US Marine Corps rifleman and Japanese Army rifleman, a machine gunner of both factions, radio men for both factions as well, and a sapper equipped with a shotgun versus the Japanese lunge mine. So Squad 44's Pacific update is coming along fantastically, I think. Outside of the map, you can already check out almost all of the new weapons and equipment and gear in-game right now. I'm excited for a big chapter in the game's history. Hopefully for the Squad 44 developers, this brings a lot of new players to the game or old players back. Will you be jumping into Squad 44 for the first time because of the upcoming update? Or have you been waiting for something big like this to finally check it out again? Let me know down in the comments, and I hope you enjoyed this quick look at a large part of the upcoming Pacific update.